Hey everyone, it's Sammy from Push Square, and I figured I'd do one more PlayStation Classic video, seeing as I was able to capture footage of all the menu system. I know this is a point of interest for people when they buy these micro consoles. So this is the menu system for the PlayStation Classic. Now this has got a lot of criticism, but I don't think everyone realises that the menus are actually inspired by the original PS1's menus. So this colourful, multicoloured play button, that's directly from the original PlayStation. Also the kind of purple spherical gradient is from the original PlayStation as well. There aren't a lot of settings to the PlayStation Classic. It's very bare bones. You can turn on a screensaver, which dims the screen after a few minutes if you're idle or whatever, and there's also power saving settings, so these are things that can help with burn-in if you've got a particular type of television or whatever. But other than that, you're looking at basically licensing stuff. There's no sort of upscaling options or anything like that. This is the button guide, so you can create restore points in games, and I'll talk about that a little bit later with the reset button. You can also turn the console on or off, and the eject button on the PlayStation Classic simulates disc changes. So every game has its own memory card, so you get absolutely loads of storage space. You can create tons of saves for every game, so you're never going to run out of storage space, basically. You can see here, I've got a save for Mr. Driller, and like I say, every game has its own virtual memory card, so basically you've got absolutely tons of space. I realise I'm repeating myself, but just to hammer home that point. So I'm going to show you sort of how quick games load in and load out. You can see here I've got a restore point for Mr. Driller, and I'm going to create one here in Rayman. So if we boot up Rayman, it loads very quickly. The system is lightning fast, to be fair, as it should be, but I know there's been a lot of skepticism and criticism of this product, so I just want to point out that it does load very fast. So this is Rayman, so you click the game, you're straight in. Yeah, everything's present and correct. Like I said earlier, there's no upscaling, there are no borders or anything like that, so you're basically stuck with a 4:3 image. The micro console outputs at 720p, 60 frames a second, although some of the games are PAL versions, which is worth keeping in mind. So yeah, everything is as you remember it on the PS1, including grainy sort of FMV videos. Yeah, so if we load into Rayman, I think in Rayman you can choose to create a password save, or you can actually save on the memory card. So I'm going to show you how saving on the memory card works. Here you can see it's trying to read it. I haven't actually created a save for Rayman on the micro console just yet, so we're going to use a memory card, and that all works exactly as you remember it on the PlayStation 1. Now Rayman is really hard, really hard. I remember being unable to complete it as a youngster, and I'm no better now. There's a bit of input lag, which makes it really difficult as a platforming game, and I know that in the years since Rayman has come out, like some of the designers on it have talked about how they didn't focus test it or even really play test it much at all, so you get these insane difficulty spikes. So you're going to see my terrible skills in this game as I attempt to play it. So yeah, like visually I actually think this game in particular holds up quite well. It doesn't control great, but it looks pretty decent. I think it's nice and vibrant, nice and colourful, and it was one of the standouts in those early PlayStation days. You know, everyone was attracted to the colourful visuals, I think, in Rayman. So yeah, we're just going to complete this level, and then we'll move on to the next level, and then I'll show you how the kind of restore point feature works. It's relatively straightforward. You just press the reset button on the console itself. So when you press it, what it will do is it will store a kind of save point, a temporary save point on the console itself. It works similarly to the way it worked on the PSP Go. If anyone owned one of those, you could create kind of restore points on that, and it basically means that you don't have to have a hard save. You can just create a temporary save, basically. Yeah, you can see I'm absolutely terrible at this game. So yeah, we'll do it now. So okay, so I've pushed the reset button, and there you go. You can see it's created a resume point. They call it. I've been calling it a restore point, but it creates a resume point. Basically, I could turn the console off if I wanted to, but it's gonna put me straight back into the game, exactly where I was instantly when I use it. Now, the one thing that you need to remember about these is that you only get one restore point or resume point. So if it gets overwritten, that's kind of it. Like, it's a temporary save. It's exactly that. You get one of them. If you use it up, then it's gone forever, basically. But it is a nice alternative, particularly in some of these games that don't have great a number of save points. I'm terrible at this game. In these games that don't have a lot of save points, it can come in very useful. So I'm going to press the reset button again, and you're going to see how it's going to ask me if I want to overwrite my previous restore point. Yeah, I'm not good at this game. So let's press it again, and there you go. It's going to ask me if I want to overwrite it. So check out the PS Classic review elsewhere on the channel. I've also got gameplay footage of all 20 games. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, cheers.